In 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Broadcasting from the KTVC studios, it's Theater of the Mind, radio you can see. Written by Philip Grecian and based on the works of Edgar Allan Poe. In a moment, Twisted Tales of Poe. But first, these words.
Experiencing a drop in energy and productivity on a gloomy November day? Try a steamy cup of coffee, a nice pick-me-up for midday fatigue. Fine coffee products can be purchased at fine coffee emporiums like The Perch, located on the TDCC Athens campus.
And now, turn out your lights and move in close to the glow of your radio dial for Twisted Tales of Poe. We now take you to the Leverett Street Jail.
What time is it?
Why do you care?
Why shouldn't I care? I do care. The women would go.
Maybe.
Anybody awake over there?
What do you want?
They are awake. Move up closer. Maybe we can see them.
Hey, over there.
What?
Come up to the bars up in the corner. All of you. You can maybe see each other.
Why not? Sure.
Oh, God.
There you are. What time is it?
How should we know?
Is it still daylight?
Who cares?
You've got a window.
Not much of a window. Too high and narrow. Can't look out.
Well, I'd give anything to have a window. To see the sun.
You'll see it soon enough. I've heard them building the gallows out in the yard.
Comes to that, we'll all see it soon enough.
All got that in common.
Murder, you mean? I had no choice.
Of course you didn't. Hey,
What?
move out where I can see you. That's good. Anybody else awake over there?
Just the poet.
The poet.
The quiet one.
Oh, poet, huh?
Catalepsy. The guard told me.
Which one?
The one that brings the food.
Oh, I like him.
What'd he say?
Told me yesterday the quiet one's a poet. I think it was yesterday. He doesn't move, doesn't speak, just stares.
Mad?
No.
Not like some.
What are you saying? Do you think me mad?
What I think doesn't matter, love. You'll all hang the same.
Why will you say I'm mad? Well, certainly I have a disease, a condition of the senses that sharpen them, above all the sense of hearing.
I see.
No, truly, it's become acute. I hear all things in heaven and earth. I hear many things in hell. Madness, no. It's my condition, my curse. Let me tell you how calmly I can tell my story. Like a person, not mad.
Very well.
It's impossible to say how the idea first came to me, but once it did, it haunted me.
You hated him.
No, I loved the old man. He had never wronged me.
Then why did you kill him? Money?
No, I never took money. It wasn't for his money.
Then what?
His eye.
His eyes. But what did...
No, only one of his eyes. Only one. It was larger than the other and pale blue with a film over it. An evil eye. It saw me, it knew me, it wanted to destroy me. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. I made up my mind to kill it, to take its life, and end the evil.
Kill the eye.
Yes, but to do that, I had to kill the old man. There was no other way. I didn't hate the old man. I loved him. But...
You are truly mad, a lunatic.
No, a lunatic knows nothing. But I know everything. I was careful. I planned it out carefully. Can a lunatic do that?
I don't see why not.
I had been engaged to nurse the old man through his illness. You must know that I was never kinder to him than during the week I killed him. I would see to his needs during the day and go to my own home in the evening. But that week, every night that week, at midnight, I would return. I would creep into his house and quietly steal up the door of his room. I would open the door, oh so gently, and put in a dark lantern closed up so that no light showed out. Then I would put in my head, slowly, so as not to disturb the old man's sleep. I could see him in the moonlight through the window, see him upon his bed. I would undo the lantern so that a single thin ray fell upon that eye, that vulture eye. But every night it was closed, so it was impossible to do my work.
Your work?
It wasn't the old man who vexed me, it was that eye, that evil eye. But for 5 nights it was not there, you see. It was closed, asleep, and I was safe from it. Once I knew this, I would creep out, leave the house, and go to my own apartment. But every morning then, I would go back to his house and into his chamber. Good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
And did you sleep well?
Aye, tolerable well, thank you.
Good, good. I've brought you breakfast.
No, I'll have a cup of tea, that will be enough.
Nonsense, I won't hear of it. Sit up, sit up.
Oh, you have a good heart. You are so good to me.
Let me fluff up your pillows then. There we are. Ease back there. How's that?
Excellent. Oh, it does my heart good to see how you care.
Now, here's the tray. You see, look out now. We'll set it across your lap. There.
The aroma.
Wait till you see. Sausage and eggs.
Sausage and eggs. Oh, a meal after my own heart.
There's more. Bread, fresh from the oven, toasted and buttered.
You baked this?
I did, and churned the butter as well.
Oh, you've gone to such trouble. It warms my heart to see how you look after me.
And here.
Oranges.
And melon, fresh from the market this morning.
Melon, oh, you fulfill my heart's every desire.
And tea, here you are.
Just smell that.
A breakfast fit for a king, eh?
Aye, a hearty breakfast indeed.
Of course, eat it all. You must keep up your strength.
I will take what you say to heart, my friend. Come back in an hour and there'll be not a single scrap left on the tray.
Very good. Till then.
Till then.
You see, it was that way each morning after my midnight visits for a week. But then, upon the 8th night, I came along the street, climbed the steps to his front door, in quickly, so as not to be seen by anyone on the street. Then up the stairs to his door. I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. I knew that this would be the night. I could feel it. He moved, as if startled.
Oh!
He awoke. Did you...
Shh. Now, you may think I drew back, but no. His room was filled thick with darkness, for there was no moon.
The lights from the hallway?
There was none, and my lantern was shuttered. I simply kept pushing on the door, slowly, for I knew he could not see it. And then Just as I was prepared to open the shutters of the lantern...
Who's there?
He was awake?
Yes, but he could not see. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle.
He went back to sleep.
I knew he was sitting up in the bed, listening.
I've done that. Awakened at night. Listened.
But I was quiet, you see. Would a lunatic have been quiet?
Well, but you...
Oh.
What?
Did you hear? Shh.
Oh.
There it is again. You know what it is.
What?
It is a groan of mortal terror. The low stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul. Many a midnight it had welled up from my own bosom, deepening with its dreadful echo the terrors that had awakened me.
Terrors?
Terrors! I knew then what the old man felt. I knew he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise. And I knew...
What?
That he knew. That he knew death lurked just past his reach in the Stygian darkness beyond his bed. And I knew that I was to be the instrument of his death.
Madness.
No, not mad. Not mad, I'm not.
Who's there?
How could he...
Shh. You'll give me away. Silence.
Hello? Hello? Wind in the chimney? Just a mouse? A cricket? Hello?
When I had waited patiently without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open the shutters of the lantern. Only a bit, just a very, very little crevice, so that a single thin ray, like the thread of a spider, shot from the lamp and fell upon that vulture eye. And it was open, huge and dull blue, with a hideous veil that chilled the very marrow in my bones. That eye, that awful eye, that evil eye, it saw me, I know it did. And then I heard the sound.
The sound?
I have said that what you mistake for my madness is an acuteness of the senses.
You have said that, yes.
Knowing this, you must believe me when I say there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, such as a watch makes when wrapped in cotton. I knew that sound.
You knew it.
It was the beating of the old man's heart. Hear it? Ba-boom, ba-boom. It increased my fury. It was all I could do to keep still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lamp upon that eye, that wicked eye, that evil eye. The beating of his heart increased, as fast as thought, as loud as drums. My horror rose, it saw, it knew, that evil eye, that foul tattoo. I prayed the old man's heart would burst. The eye it sees, my soul is cursed. The windows shatter, the walls come apart. That evil eye, that horrible heart. I hear it crash and thrum and thrum. The old man's hour had finally come. I removed the pillow from his face. The old man was dead. I closed his eyes. I pulled the lid over the evil eye, the dead evil eye. It would trouble me no more. And I worked quickly, for I had planned it all carefully. Could a lunatic plan so carefully? I think not. My disease has sharpened my senses, but this is a benefit, is it not? I can see more colors in the spectrum than any other living being. I knew the scent of everyone and everything that had ever been in that old house. I could hold a length of linen in my fingers and count its threads, catalog each simple flavor and the complex taste of a wine, and even hear the tiny creatures in the walls, the rats in the attic, hear them breathe. No, I am far from mad, and I had planned well. For you see, I had brought a toolbox during the daylight hours and concealed it in the closet in the corridor. The sun was rising, and so I could not carry the old man outside to the street, but I had not planned that in any case. I dragged the old man to the bath and threw him into the tub. where I dismembered him. I stripped the skin so as to avoid getting blood on my clothing. I spread butcher's paper on the floor, and I spent the next several hours engaged in dissection. Legs, arms, head, nice neat packages. You see, I planned everything. Does that sound like something a lunatic would do? I took up the flooring in the old man's chamber, near the big window, which I'd been careful to cover, and I put the pieces, each one carefully wrapped, between the scantlings. They fit, as if the spaces had been built for them. And you see, again, more planning, more care. I neatly tucked the old man in, as I had done so many times before, and then I covered him with a counterpane of flooring, putting it all back as it had been. I replaced the boards so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything, even so close to the window where the sun shone in brightly. Then I gathered up the butcher's paper from the floor around the tub, taking care so as not to spill any of the blood, and I burned it in the fireplace. The paper and blood incinerating and flying up the chimney and away. It was a good fire, a steady, healthy blaze. The old man would have liked it. He always enjoyed a cozy fire. I was sorry he wasn't there to see it. When I had made an end to these labors, I went home.
And slept?
Deeply. And here's where I was clever. Where I planned. Not something a lunatic would do. I knew that someone would miss the old man. There were those who knew that I was his caretaker, and would be suspicious of me.
Aye, sooner or later there'd be a report of a missing person.
And who would be most logical to file that report with the police, eh? Who?
Well, you, but...
Yes, and if I didn't do that, if the one who saw the old man every day wasn't the one to report him missing, would that be very suspicious?
It would, yes.
Ha! So how can you call me mad? I reported him missing, you see? Everything planned. I waited one full day and reported him missing. Then I went to his house and waited for the police. The police, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Inspector Talbot, and this is my associate, Officer Simpson.
Ma'am.
Yes, come in.
Now, ma'am, you say your employer has gone missing?
Yes, I'm so worried. He wasn't in his room when I came in this morning.
His room?
Yes, in his bed.
And that's where you saw him last, in his bed?
Yes, he was in his bed when I left last evening.
I see.
He isn't strong, you know. Simply crossing the room tires him. He spends most of his time in his bed. So when
He is ill.
Well, my employer is a man of advanced years, and his health is not good.
And he wasn't in his room this morning.
And
No.
You touched nothing?
In the room?
Yes.
What? No. When I found that he was gone, I notified your offices immediately. Would you like to see the room?
Please.
Of course. This way, gentlemen.
What is the nature of your employment, ma'am, if I may ask?
Well, I'm his caretaker. He's nurse.
But
He is...
you don't live on the premises?
No. Oh, no. Here we are.
A very nice room, if I may say so.
Yes, it is.
These glass figures, here on the bureau.
Porcelain. Very valuable.
Not likely to have been burglary.
Indeed not.
Please, gentlemen, be seated.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll get a chair for myself and put it here, near the window.
You've been through the house. Nothing missing?
No, nothing. Here, sit here.
And you touched nothing here before calling us?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing. No, nothing.
The bed is made. Do you find that odd?
Excuse me?
The bed?
Yes.
It's been made.
Well, yes.
You touched nothing.
No, nothing. I touched. What was that?
What?
You didn't... There it is again. Surely you heard that.
No, I heard nothing.
Ah, Never mind then, it's gone now.
You said your master was bedridden?
Well, yes.
And that he was easily fatigued. You have that note, Simpson?
Yes, sir. He isn't strong, you know. Simply crossing the room tires him. He spends most of his time in his bed.
Well, yes, quite so.
And you said that he was in his bed when you last saw him?
I did? I'm not sure I said.
Simpson?
And that's where you saw him last, in his bed? Yes, he was in his bed when I left last evening.
Can't you hear that?
I'm sorry?
I asked if you could hear that.
No. Simpson?
No, sir.
I would have sworn
So you can imagine my confusion.
Your confusion?
Yes, that is me.
Well, I do much of the tidying up. I made the bed last night when I left.
No, ma'am. He was in his bed when you left last evening. I've got it right down here in the book.
Well, he was... Well, I couldn't...
It may mean nothing.
Nothing.
But the bed has been made.
Yes.
And when you saw your master, he was
Yes.
lying.
Well, he was... I said, you don't... Well, I never said that. I meant to say... Well, perhaps it would be best if you came back another... You must understand, I'm over odds. Why will you not be gone? What can I do? Can't you hear it? You're mocking me. You suspect, you know. You know, don't you? You know, you're putting me through this agony. I can bear this no longer. I must scream or die. Hark, hark, louder, louder, louder. Louder, here, under the floorboards. Here it is. I confess, it is his heart. It is the beating of his hideous heart.
In a moment, after these words from our sponsors, we will return to the KTVC Radio Players production of Twisted Tales of Poe.
Do you find yourself looking for a pen or a number 2 pencil with no writing utensils to be found? Never fear, the TVCC bookstore is here. The TVCC bookstore has all your note-taking needs, from writing utensils to paper to folders and more. The TVCC bookstore, conveniently located by the nest.
And now, we return to Twisted Tales of Poe. Ah, but Montressor has awakened! Was it a nice nap, my friend?
It was, yes.
Some of us are telling our stories. Do you have a story for us?
I am more sinned against than sinning.
You didn't murder, then?
More correctly, I eliminated, I executed, I disposed of a pestilence, amputated a diseased portion from the body human.
Your story. You must tell it.
Tell your story.
The 1,000 injuries of Fortunato I had borne as best I could, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge.
Revenge?
Revenge that could not be traced back to. A wrong is not avenged when retribution overtakes its avenger.
What insult did he visit upon you?
I prefer not to discuss it. Suffice it to say that I had the family motto to uphold, Nemo me impune locusset.
No enemy goes unpunished.
More accurately, no one attacks me with impunity. And though I vow revenge, neither by word nor deed did I give Fortunato cause to doubt my goodwill. I smiled each time I saw him, and he misunderstood my smile for one of friendship. But, in truth, it was in contemplation of his destruction. Fortunato, you see, took great pride in his knowledge of wines. This was the bait. The timing of it was perfect, for it was the season of Carnival. The streets were full of costumed revelers, music and mirth, parades and pageant. The wine flowed in cataracts. One evening, during the supreme madness, just at dusk, I, costumed as Mephistopheles, encountered Fortunato, suitably intoxicated and dressed, appropriately as a king's fool, his headdress trimmed in tiny veils.
Montressor!
Fortunato, how remarkably well you are looking today.
And you as well!
You You are ill?
Oh, a slight cold, it's nothing. Achoo! I can stay but a moment. I have an engagement.
As do I.
Yes, and where are you off to?
I have received a cask of what passes for Amontillado.
Amontillado? Ah!
And that is what the wine merchant told me, in any case.
Indeed, Amontillado. A cask. Impossible.
You mustn't scold me for not consulting you. I was fearful of losing the bargain.
Amontillado.
As I say, I have my doubts.
Amontillado.
And as I knew you were busy entertaining during the Carnival season, I am on my way to consult with Lucchesi about it.
Lucchesi?
I've heard some say that his taste is a match for your...
Nonsense! Oh, come, let us go.
Go where?
To your vaults! I must give my expert opinion on your Amontillado.
I won't hear of it. You have an engagement, and I am sure Lucchesi...
I have no engagement. Oh, come.
No, my friend. My wine cellar is so damp or cold.
The cold is nothing. But Lucchesi cannot distinguish Amontillado from Montezila. But pretender to my throne. Oh, come, take my arm and let us away to your palazzo.
Here we are, Fortunato. A moment while I find my key.
Nonsense! I'll ring your bell. Your man will let us in.
Not tonight, I hear, dear Fortunato. The servants are out.
Ah, of course. Carnival!
May God bless you.
Thank you.
Here's my key. Welcome to my home.
Yes. Where is your wine cellar?
First, a small glass of port to toast our friendship.
I don't.
Please, here.
Very well.
To friendship.
To friendship! Done. Achoo! Oh, now your cellar.
This way.
Lucchesi, indeed. Lucchesi is a pig.
Here. Take this torch. Take care, the cellar is damp and the steps slippery. Got you. You see, I warned you.
You saved my life. I might have fallen and broken my neck.
Well, it wouldn't do to have you die that way, would it? One more step. Here we are. The catacombs of the Montressor family, filled with the wine and bone of ancestors. God bless you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it is nothing.
This cellar is so damp. It wouldn't do to have you catch your death down here. Not this way. Come, we'll go back.
No!
Your health is precious. You are rich, respected, admired, happy, as once I was. You would be missed. I will see Lucchesi about Amontillado.
No. The cough. The cough. It's a mere nothing. It will not kill me. I shall not die of a cough.
True. Here. A drink of this medoc will defend us from the damps.
Yes, just the thing. Oh, but how is it that it's uncorked? And flagons are ready.
Who can say, but it is our good fortune, eh?
Our good fortune, to the dead who repose around us.
And those to come.
Indeed.
That should serve to quell your cough, I think. And if it does not, there are other remedies forthcoming.
Excellent. But the Amontillado, where's the Amontillado?
Farther down the passage.
Bring the bottle.
Of course.
These vaults are extensive.
The Montressors were a great and numerous family.
I forget your family motto.
Nemo me and pune lacusette.
Yes, of course. No enemy attacks me without receiving punishment. In the coat of arms.
A human foot of gold in a field is yours. The foot rushes a serpent rampant, whose fangs are embedded in the heel.
The snake exacts retribution.
Indeed he does. We are below the riverbed now. You see, the moisture trickles among the bones. Oh, your cough. You should turn back before it is too late.
No. Perhaps not the flagon full of meadow?
The bottle is for you, my friend.
You're not having any more?
I haven't your discerning palate. I am saving my own for Amontillado. I do not wish to confuse the flavors. All the more for you, eh?
Excellent! Are you of the Brotherhood?
I'm sorry?
A Mason. Are you a Mason?
Oh, yes, I am.
Give me a sign then!
Of course. Here, I've been carrying it with me. Here beneath my cape.
A trowel? Why would you carry a trowel?
The working tool of a master mason.
Oh! You jest!
Perhaps not so much as you might have.
Excuse me.
Yes, I jest. A jest for a jester.
For a jest? My costume! Yes! A jest for a jester! Oh, you devil! You see? You devil! Your own costume! The jester! The bells, the fool! Yes, the the Amontillado. Your arm, my balance is uncertain in these damp floors.
Certainly.
Oh, jest for a jester. Fool for the fool.
Down the steps.
Oh,
careful now.
Careful. Mustn't wake the dead.
The dead will not wake, and we are deep enough that the living would never hear.
Never hear. My torch burns low.
There isn't much oxygen down here. You see, the air is
Most foul. You're most foul. The Amontillado.
just in here, into this small boat.
You've hidden it. Hidden it well.
Well, of course, Amontillado, after all.
We shall see. Luchesi. Pah!
Oh, careful of the
Bones! Piles of bones. The Amontillado. Where?
Here, in the small recess. Step through the hole in masonry. It is not very deep. You won't have to go far. Step up and over, that's right. Watch your head going in.
Up and over. Watch my head. Where? Where is the... the Amontillado. Where?
Put your arms up here, please.
My arms up. Coming with me, Montressor. Come.
No, my friend, I need only reach in to fasten the cuffs. It is done.
What is...
It is a fine niche you occupy in my family's history, is it not? Small and mean, and eventually completely forgotten. How appropriate.
What are you doing? Let me go.
This necklace is no good at all for your cough. Well, I I must go. Are you coming? No? Very well. Allow me then to see to your privacy.
What are you?
See here. Beneath this pile of my ancestors' bones we find, mortar and building stones. They should fit nicely in this opening between us. Now where did I put my secret sign? Here it is. The mason's trowel. To work then. I truly do have an appointment later tonight.
The Amontillado.
Oh yes, the Amontillado. Do you see the cask in the window?
No, I don't. I don't see it.
Well then, I suspect that it is not as good after all. I believe, my friend, that your intoxication will be cured quickly. Fear will do that. The cock will die with its master, I think. Fear not, Fortunato. These are new chains and very strong. I've threaded them through the iron staples, driven into the solid granite wall behind you. Can you see? You will have occasion to admire this craftsmanship, I believe. It took me some little time.
I don't understand what...
In the iron closed with new padlocks.
Let me out! Let me go!
No, I'm afraid not. It has taken too much planning to get you there.
Montressor, please! I've always been your friend!
You have never been my friend! And you have wounded me more times than I may count.
But whatever I've said or done... so minor that I can't...
There is time, Fortunato, to contemplate how willingly you have followed me here. To consider the role you have played, legally paid in your own debt. Finished then? As lucky habits so mine. You see, wall of stone and mortar to seal your vault, and your fate. I could do better with more time, but it will suffice. Only one more stone to fit into place. Look once more, Fortunato, before the windows close for good.
a very good joke indeed. An excellent jest. We will have many a bit laugh about this, won't we, my friend?
I will, in any case, yes.
we will speak of this often at the Palazzo, and laugh over wine.
Our Amontillado.
Yes, Amontillado. but it is late, and they will be awaiting me at the Palazzo, Lady Fortunato and the rest, and your... oh, well, I forgot, you haven't... She's no longer... Well, I must go now.
Yes, you must. Allow me to put in this last stone, then.
For the love of God, Montressor!
Yes, for the love of God! Finished. Oh, what is this? Fortunato's cap and bells. He has left it behind. I'll leave it at Carnival. No doubt another fool can put it to use. Oh, look at the time. Fortunato, will you come with me? No? Very well then. Farewell, my friend. Watch the snakes. Nemo mi impune locusset, and passe requiescat.
For the love of God, Montressor!
We will return to our drama in a moment, but first, a word from our sponsor. And now for a public service announcement.
Students at Trinity Valley Community College have new options available today. The clothes closet and food pantry Part of the new on-campus advocacy resource center has recently opened its doors.
The center, located in the Student Union building on the Athens campus, is open to all current TVCC students. The Advocacy Resource Center is open every Wednesday and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. during the academic year, and closed on weekends and holidays.
Also, donations of non-perishable food items, personal hygiene items, and new or gently warm clothing items are accepted. Monetary donations may be made through the TVCC Foundation.
Please consider donating today. And now, we return to Twisted Tales of Poe.
So, Montressor, you still claim you didn't murder?
I still claim it. The last time I saw Fortunato, he was alive.
And
when the authorities found him some little time later, he was not.
seems we all get what we deserve in the end.
Yes,
And you
even I.
doesn't talk much, that other one.
The poet? Never, as I said, catted to.
He hasn't told you his story then?
Certainly not, he can't. Think there's anything going on behind his eyes? Perhaps. He might be contemplating his future, reliving his past, imagining the present.
Who can say what he's thinking, locked away inside himself?
Indeed. Who can say?
My deepest sympathies, my boy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Goodbye then, and well, if there's anything I can do for you.
Yes. Thank you.
Charles and I want you to know that we're here if you need anything.
Anything at all, just, well, you know how we...
How we worry about you and,
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
well,
Oh, yes, well. Good night, then. Good night.
Good night.
Oh my, it's going quite cold out.
bundle up warm, dear. Bundle up warm. There's a storm coming.
Oh, it was a lovely ceremony.
Yes, it was.
She would have. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, then.
Good night, Helen. Thank you.
You have enough to keep yourself busy.
Yes. I have some research. I'll spend some time in the library, going over my books, making notes.
Yes, of course. Lose yourself in scholarship.
That's right.
No sense blaming yourself, you know?
No, I wasn't.
Her heart wasn't strong.
No.
And the burden your relationship put upon her.
Burden?
Oh, you know, the turmoil.
Turmoil.
And the worry, of course. Well, we all worry of those we love, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Some are simply too fragile for it. Well, don't stay up too late then.
No, I'll be in bed by midnight.
And don't feel guilty. Don't feel the least guilt.
No, I...
Well, good night then. And once again, my heartfelt sympathies.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night.
We'll be by next time.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember brought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden in whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping, tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wandering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the stillness was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely this is something at my window lattice. Let me see then where thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven on the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mine of lord or lady perched above my chamber door. Perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven,
"Nevermore, nevermore."
"Nevermore." Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if in that one word his soul he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." "Nevermore." Startled at the stillness broken by replies so aptly spoken, "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom a merciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, gaunt, ghastly, ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease, reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, nevermore.
No sense blaming yourself, you know.
Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by the angels he hath sent thee, respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff, this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Nevermore. Her heart wasn't strong.
Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate, yet all undaunted, on the desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
The excitement you brought to them.
Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us, by the God we both adore, tell his soul, with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aiden it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Nevermore.
Some are simply too proud for it.
Be that word our sign in parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest of the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven.
Nevermore.
And the raven, never flitting, still in sitting, on the pallid bust palace just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seemings of a demon's that is dreaming. And my soul, from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted nevermore!
Nevermore. Nevermore.
You have been listening to the radio dramatization of Twisted Tales of Poe.
Written by Philip Grecian, based on the stories of Edgar Allan Poe.
And produced by KTVC.
So now, good night and pleasant dreams.